Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me 100 comments if you are interested in this new fantasy anime. I also ask for your help to correct if there are mistakes in my video. Once upon a time, there was a big war in a country. Ray White, a young soldier who is the most powerful in the world, also joins the war. He is nicknamed the Ice Blade Magician and is included among the 7 strongest magicians in the world. But unfortunately, many soldiers died and were willing to sacrifice to win the war. In the end, the most loved people in Ray's life died in battle. This left a scar on Ray's heart. 3 years later, Ray enters a magic academy named Arnold. Arnold Academy is the #1 noble academy in the world, but Ray deliberately disappeared and hid his identity after the Big War incident 3 years ago. So many people don't know the real name of Ice Blade Magician. Ray also disguised himself as an ordinary person, born into a family of commoners who couldn't use magic. Many people ostracized, insulted, and belittled his strength. One girl even vomited from having her hand held by a commoner. Ray was the first commoner to enter the Noble Magic Academy. Even one of the students from the 3 great noble families, Albert Alium, hated Ray's existence. But Ray responded to all the ridicule casually because he was ordered by one of the 7 strongest magicians to enter this academy. Then a girl named Amelia Rose stopped the commotion caused by Albert. Because of that, Albert would leave there and challenge Ray when sword practice later. Then Amelia said that Ray could talk to her anytime if he wanted. Amelia was interested in Ray because he was the first commoner to enter this noble academy. After the principal, Abby Garnett, and Amelia give a short welcoming speech, Ray enters the same class as Amelia and Albert. A teacher named Helena Grady, usually called Gray, introduced Ray to other friends, but none cared and continued to discriminate against Ray because he was a commoner. Still, Amelia didn't look at Ray that way. When the first day's lesson started, Ray still remembered when he was in the war 3 years ago, but Gray told Ray to stay focused on studying today's lesson. In this world, 5 levels of magicians are defined by the Magic Association. Among them are bronze, silver, gold, platina, and the highest is grand. The 7 strongest magicians in the world have a grand rank. 3 of them are Garnet the Fire Magician, Carol Caroline the Poison Magician, and Ice Blade Magician. The students at Arnold Academy must develop their skills to reach the Grand Magician level and become the 7th strongest magician. Then Albert still couldn't believe why Ray could enter this noble academy. Gray replies that the academy has allowed Ray to enter through the same process as the other students. So Albert didn't need to ask such a thing. Then the next lesson is the basics of magic. Well, maybe I'll skip the detailed explanation of magic because I also don't understand magic. The point is that magic in this fantasy world comes from the imagination of the Prima Material Code. 4 magic materials can be used: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Apart from these, can be called a phenomenon. Then one of the girls asks Gray about anti-material magic. Gray replies that the anti-material theory only exists in the books of Ainsworth, a genius researcher in this world. But in reality, no magicians could use anti-material magic yet. Afterward, Gray told the students to make something with their magic abilities. Amelia can carry out assignments from Gray well, but Ray deliberately weakened his magic power because he couldn't show it in this lesson. Many students increasingly hate Ray. He is not worthy as a magician. Even Albert, one of the 3 great noble families, wanted to beat him during sword practice later. When class is over, Ray meets the girl who asked Gray earlier. Her name is Elisa Griffith, a shy girl from the elf race. Then they started talking about Ainsworth. Elisa was pleased because it was the first time she met an Ains lover the same age as her. Even Elisa also felt that Ray looked like an adult because of the very formal normal way of speaking. Then Ray asked why a beautiful girl like Elisa always covered her head with a hoodie. Elisa replied that the elf race was always ridiculed by people for having ears different from ordinary humans. But Ray said that the ears of the elf race were adorable, so Elisa didn't have to worry about that. Elisa blushed because Ray praised her twice. After that, Ray would head to the male dorm of this Arnold Academy, but suddenly a girl with twin tail hair bumped into Ray. Then they got to know each other. This girl was named Clarice Cleveland. Clarice was surprised because she only knew Ray now. Previously, she had only heard rumors about Ray. Then Ray apologized because he didn't know the Cleveland noble's name. But according to Ray, Clarice was a beautiful girl with twin tails. The nobility of Cleveland may contain beautiful girls like Clarice. Clarice blushed and was overly confident after receiving Ray's compliment. Then she immediately left there because there was some affairs. Ray went to the male dormitory room, which was already occupied by a student, Evie Armstrong. Evie didn't care about Ray's background because Evie had realized one thing in common with Ray since they met in class earlier. From now on, they will become true friends because they have a workout hobby, maybe that references the JoJo anime. The next day, Ray ran in the morning as his daily routine. He also accidentally met one of the daughters of the three great nobles named Rebecca Bradley. Rebecca had also heard Ray was the first commoner to enter this Arnold Academy, but Rebecca will be Ray's friend. Rebecca is also interested in him. After that, Evie explained the three great nobles to Ray. Rose, Bradley, and Alium are noble families who wield great influence in all aspects of the country, politically and economically. Then the sword practice lesson finally started. Albert challenged Ray because he really hated weak people like Ray. Even Ray was known as the Withered Wizard among the students at the academy. Then the sword practice began.
こちらの方にはあまり影響がないからな。
嘘。
やるじゃねえか。
バカだ。レイ・ホワイト。狂犬の魔術師。学生生活を満喫しているようで何よりだ。